All right, man. Torture Talk. Like, share, subscribe to the page. You know what it is, man. We gonna get this thing going with this mouth figure up. All right, man. So look, man. I really didn't want to do this episode, but I have to because something inside of me has to speak on this. And yeah, man. So this might be a little bit long, but y'all gonna have to stick with me on this one because I got a lot to say. So we're gonna talk about the Carmelo Anthony and the Austin Metcalf situation. And we also gonna talk about Kyle Rittenhouse. So before we get into that, I got to get a legendary spill. This is Torture Talk. If you like the content, please consider subscribing. If you're new here, let me work for your subscription today. All the beautiful, single, sexy ladies, put one in the chat. All the fellas, y'all know to find the ones that just don't harass them. I don't sell no merch, but I do have content absolutely free. But if you want to leave a donation, link is in the description. Cash App, no more PayPal. They call me the Hidden Gem. 1,300 subscribers, over 17,000. And yes, I am the king of the North. Let me know what kingdom you from. So let's get to it. It's going to be a doozy. But let's go. All right. So we're going to start with the Carmelo and Austin situation because it's more current. And we're going to talk about this now. I want y'all to, before we even get started, I am not going to be biased. I am not going to stand on one side. I'm going to point out all the inconsistencies on whatever I see. Doesn't matter. I'm not going to side with whoever. I'm just going to tell y'all what I believe and what the truth is. So I want y'all to understand is when we go into this, I'm giving y'all what I believe happened. You know what I'm saying? And how I feel about the situation. I'm not no law professor. I don't know none of this. I'm just telling y'all my feelings on this. All right? So let's get that clear. You know what I'm saying? We're going to go into this. So we're going to watch this piece of this video, some of this video. We're going to watch this video. He's going to break it down. And I'm going to give y'all my take on this. And then we're going to watch something else. All right? So let's get it.
It was a rainy Wednesday morning in Frisco, Texas, where a high school track meet had been delayed due to the weather. Dozens of student athletes who attended from across the district were huddled under tents waiting for the skies to clear. Among them was 17-year-old Austin Metcalf. He is an honor student at Memorial High with a nearly 4.0 GPA and a standout athlete who has dreams of playing college football. Standing close by to him was his twin brother, Hunter. Across the field, another standout athlete from a different school named Carmelo Anthony. He is captain of both his track and football team, and his family describe him as quiet and reserved. As the rain starts getting harder, Carmelo decides he's going to get under a tent for shelter. Only it wasn't his team's tent. It was actually the opposition's tent assigned to Memorial High. Now, Austin noticed Carmelo and approached him, telling him, "This tent is reserved for my team and you need to leave." When Carmelo refused, an argument between the two broke out. And at one point, Carmelo reportedly said to Austin, "Touch me and see what happens." When Austin attempted to physically remove him, Carmelo allegedly pulled out a black knife from his bag and stabbed Austin once in the chest before fleeing. Austin collapsed. His twin brother, Hunter, rushed to his side, holding him, trying to stop the bleeding as he died. Hunter would later tell Fox News, "I saw the soul leave his body, and with that, mine left too." Now, despite fleeing the scene, Carmelo Anthony was arrested within minutes. And sitting in the back of the police car, he asked officers one question that would soon ignite a global firestorm. Would what I did be considered self-defense? Now, when this story hit the media, it exploded, making headlines around the world. But because one boy was black and the other was white, it became gasoline for a race and political fire. Opinion pieces, live streams, TikToks, Twitter threads, everyone had an opinion. Some asked why
Yeah, so I had to stop that because I don't want to keep it running too long. Yeah, it was a firestorm. I couldn't avoid it. So this is the reason why we're here today watching this, talking about this. So let's keep going.
student would bring a knife to a school track meet. Others defended him, claiming that he had the right to protect himself. Then came the money. A fundraising page set up by Carmelo's family with the goal of 100K exploded past 450,000, sparking outrage. Critics started accusing the family of profiting from a killing. Rumors started swirling about new cars and new homes, but the family claimed they hadn't touched any of the money. His legal defense came under scrutiny. His representation started getting called out for having a criminal past. And just as the debate around the self-defense began to grow, new information started surfacing about a previous school altercation. And all of this is before the case has even gone to trial. But regardless, the internet has already chosen sides. This story, which is about two boys and a single fatal decision, has now become something so much bigger. Something that no one seems to be able to control, because now even judges involved in this are getting their lives threatened. So that's what we're talking about today. So let's stop the yapping and let's get rocking! Okay, before we get into the controversy and the legal side of things, I do want to play you guys a portion of this interview by Austin Metcalf's dad, where he is insisting that people do not need to make this about race and politics.
It's very unfortunate that this other child decided to make a bad choice that's going to affect him for the rest of his life. I want to make this very clear. This is not a race issue. This is not a black and white issue. I don't want someone stepping up on a soapbox trying to politicize this. I don't appreciate some of the remarks I've seen online. This is about human compassion. The world needs more kind people. If you can't find one, be one.
Now, one of the reasons this has gained so much attention before...
All right. I'm going to speak on that real quick before we go any further, because I'm going to let him, I'm kind of going to let the video play a little more, and then I'm going to give my take on what I believe happened. But the dad is absolutely right. The dad is absolutely right. I think that we shouldn't make this into a race thing. You know what I'm saying? But obviously that's what people are going to do. You know what I'm saying? They're going to do that because of certain things. But I'm going to explain why in a second, why it should not be a race thing. Because I'm going to call a lot of y'all out. A lot of y'all were hypocrites. And I'm going to prove it to y'all that y'all were hypocrites. You know what I'm saying? So when you say you want to make it to a race thing, I'm going to prove to y'all that you're hypocrites. But either way, I agree with the dad. I think that this was an altercation between two human beings, and this happened. So let's keep it going.
Even going to trial was that soon after all of this went down, a Give, Send, Go account was set up by Carmelo's family. And they said that that was for them to support their legal proceedings. Now, as of the time of recording, it has so far received over $475,000, despite them only having the initial goal of $100,000. Now, the decision by them to not close the account after they received their desired goal has been one of the things that has drawn heavy criticism, with people saying online that the family is now profiting from a tragedy. Now, this already heated situation only got worse after the New York Post.
I mean, I don't think that the family is profiting from a tragedy. I think that if people want to donate, then let them donate. I mean, if their goal was that and it exceeded their goal, that's what it is. It exceeded the goal. You can't say, not saying he's saying this, but people can't say that they're profiting off this man's death. You don't know that. You don't know what's in their minds. You have no clue how they feel. They could be going through something just as much as something. Now, just so happens, and also too, I believe that Metcalf family also too has a John too. Maybe it doesn't have as much money. I mean, Go Send Go or whatever it's called. They don't have as much money, but I believe they have one too. So let's keep it going.
Published a report with a headline that read, Carmelo Anthony renting $900K home in gated community with family, bought new car after release on bond in Austin Metcalf murder case. Texas Senator Ted Cruz then added fuel to the fire by reposting this and saying, why the hell does someone raise $500,000 for committing murder? Now, Snopes, which is a fact-checking organization, has done a...
Okay, Ted Cruz, you gotta chill. Gotta chill. He didn't get convicted of murder. Gotta chill. This is the reason why a lot of people have a problem with Republicans, and a lot of people have a problem with conservatives, because whenever it's someone black, y'all always do this. Now, I'm not saying Ted Cruz is racist. I ain't saying whoever's racist. I'm just telling you that this is the reason why people have a problem. That boy has not been convicted of murder. So why are you saying that they've raised money for murder? You know what I'm saying? He didn't get convicted. We don't know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Or we could say he hasn't been convicted in malicious intent. So for you to sit here and say that, I think that that's wrong for you to say. That's crazy.
Piece on this, and they say that these claims by reposting this and saying, why the hell does someone raise $500,000 for committing murder? Now, Snopes, which is a fact-checking organization, has done a piece on this, and they say that these claims are false. They say that GiveSendGo's co-founder and chief financial officer confirmed that Anthony's family has not withdrawn any of the money from the donation page yet. However, since the controversy, the family has now put an update on the fundraising page. They said that while the legal defense is a critical part of the fund, the money will not solely be dedicated to legal expenses. They then included things like the safe relocation of Anthony due to escalating threats, as well as things like transport, security, and basic living costs. Things then exploded yet again yesterday, after Austin's father, who is also a defense attorney, attended a public press conference for the Anthony family. But the person hosting this press conference, Dominic Alexander, he refused to begin until Austin's father left. Now, videos show the situation going as far as police arriving on the scene and removing Austin's father.
That was disrespectful and just shows you all the character. He knows that it's inappropriate to be near this family.
Okay. I 100% disagree with them kicking him out. 100% disagree with that. I do not believe that they should have kicked that man out. For the same reason why that young man should have never approached your son. Or not his son, but their son. And I'll get into that in a second. I'll get into that. But no, I don't think they should have kicked him out. No. And on top of that, the dad is trying to make peace. He said that. Now, we got to go off what he said. We don't know his actions. And he's an attorney, too. So it ain't like, oh, he can go and do this. But his dad did say that I'm trying to, I forgive your son, forgive their son for what he did to my son. This is what his dad said. I ain't sitting here caping for him. I'm just telling you what what Metcalf dad said. So this is what he said. Whether he's lying or not, I don't know, but I'm just telling you what he said. So I don't think that they should have kicked him out. And I don't think that this lawyer should have said that, what he just said. I don't think he should have did that. I don't think you should. Because I think a lot of times we make this into a racial thing, and it's really not. It's really not. You know what I'm saying? And I think they don't really understand what they're doing when they do that. But I'll explain why. But let's keep it going.
He did it. And so I say to people, actions speak louder than words. What he has failed into is the political operatives that want to make this thing a political thing of hate, yet bigotry, and yet racism.
But speaking about Dominic Alexander, he is actually one of the Anthony's family's biggest supporters. And that shouldn't be controversial, right? Well, we'd be wrong there too, because people have started doing background on him, and they discovered that he has a lengthy history of criminal violence.
And we begin with breaking news. A well-known activist has been charged with domestic violence.
Dallas activist Dominic Alexander facing criminal...
Wait a minute. He's not even a lawyer? I thought he was a lawyer. So he's just an activist. He's just an activist. Oh, and also, too, there's another video that I'm going to find and play. But what he said about Kyle Rittenhouse, which was absolutely wrong. And it just goes to show you that you have to pay attention to certain things people say. And we're going to get into that. I know some of y'all might not care, but we're going to expose the truth, not what we feel. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep it going.
Domestic violence charges.
He has been charged with 1 count felony assault, serious bodily injury, and 1 count misdemeanor assault.
Recently, activist Dominic Alexander was protesting the assault of a woman in Deep Ellum. But behind the scenes, his girlfriend says he was assaulting her.
He was even convicted of a first-degree felony for causing serious bodily injury to a 2-year-old child, the son of his then-girlfriend, while babysitting.
Now, Alexander has a long criminal history, including injury to a child.
In fact, one of the easiest layups in the criminal justice system is having character witness come forward and speak positively on your behalf. However, despite this, in 2016, he brought two character witnesses. One didn't even know he was on probation, and the other he had just met. Now, the final piece of major controversy, at least at the time of recording, is that at his bail hearing, Carmelo Anthony's bond was reduced from $1 million down to $250,000, and he was later freed with an ankle monitor. The judge said her decision to lower the bond was for multiple reasons, including Anthony's age, since he is under 18, his lack of prior criminal history, and his strong ties to the community. Critics argued, however, that
Okay, I don't see anything wrong with that. I think that that's exactly what she should have did. He doesn't have a criminal history. Why are you detaining him? He don't have a criminal history. And he's 17. And he is a role model to the community. So what are you detaining him for? I get it. His bail should be reduced. He should have it should be fair across the board like everybody else. Can't just say, oh yeah, he don't get no bail. Why? He doesn't have a criminal history. Why doesn't he get a bail? He should get a bail. And I'm glad she reduced it down to $250,000. Glad. Because they probably couldn't afford it. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with what she did. That's absolutely right. She should have did that.
he is being charged with first-degree murder and has already raised money far exceeding the bond of $250K. However, for this decision, Judge Angela Tucker has now been doxxed and received threats to her safety, which law enforcement...
And I don't understand why people do this. This is not going to change the outcome. It's not. It's not going to change the outcome. I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of y'all really ain't running up in nobody crib like that. I mean, some of y'all might, I ain't gonna lie, but the ones that will do it, they ain't gonna. But you don't listen, you don't know what people got in their house. That's all I'm gonna say. You don't know. But anyway, no, you shouldn't be doing stuff like this. Absolutely not. This is wrong. That's wrong. That's 100% wrong.
Like FBI are now investigating. So ultimately, controversy aside, what happens now? Well, currently there is no trial date set because the case is still in what's called the pre-indictment phase. In Texas, before any case like this can go to trial, it has to be reviewed by a grand jury. That's basically a group of citizens who look at the evidence and decide two things. One, is there probable cause to believe that a crime was committed? And two, if so, what exact charges should be filed? Like murder, manslaughter, or something else. Now, prosecutors are expected to bring this case before a grand jury before the end of June 2025. If that grand jury decides to indict Carmelo, he will either take a plea deal or plead not guilty, which, if in that case, would send this thing into a full-blown trial. And the national and, in fact, global media attention will be intense. And also, if this does go to trial, Carmelo will almost certainly claim self-defense. But in Texas, using deadly force as self-defense is a very high legal bar, and it's only allowed under specific conditions. So ultimately, we'll just have to wait and see. Now, usually I wrap up these kind of videos with, what do you guys think? But considering today, I don't think I will. I mean, we've literally laid out what the talk online has turned this case into, and any speculation beyond the evidence that they present will only harm both parties. So, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and
All right. Okay, so we're gonna start with with Austin Metcalf, and Carmelo Anthony. All right, so look, here's my thoughts on this. Right, I know this is gonna be hard for people to hear, and I know a lot of people are gonna probably disagree with this. A lot of people are gonna be upset about it, but this is from what I read. What I read is Carmelo Anthony asked the coach, could he sit under the tent? The coach said yes, right? Austin comes over to him and says, what are you doing under here? I'm paraphrasing because obviously I don't know exactly what was said, but what are you doing under here? Obviously, then he says, you got to get out of here. Carmelo says, if you touch me, you're going to regret it. something gonna happen, don't touch me, right? He does it, he deletes him. Austin was wrong. And I'm gonna tell y'all why. You are not in an authoritative position to ask anyone to move anywhere. You cannot pretend or play or do anything of the sorts. It's not your tent. Even though he's the opposition team, you are not in a position to tell him to move anywhere. That is the first mistake you made, was approaching him and telling him to move. Should have never did that. The second mistake you made is when you put your hands on him. Now, this is what people are saying. You put your hands on him. Well, he put his hands on him first. Then he went in his bag. He got it and he did what he did. If someone tells you, don't touch me, if you do, you're going to see what's going to happen to you. And you touch them, to me, that's automatically you're in the wrong. If I say to someone, don't go down that street because there is a giant hole and you're going to fall in it. Everybody falls in that hole. Don't go down that street. And you take it upon yourself, say, I'm going anyway. And you fall and you injure yourself. And then your family said, well, how come you told him to go down there, but you didn't make him not go down there? And he deletes, he goes away, right? How can you blame them for that? Right? Now, some people are saying, well, he brought a knife to school. He brought a knife to school. I mean, what would you say to that? You don't know why he brought a knife to school. That's number one. Number two, he brought a knife to school most likely to protect him from people who were telling him things like this. You don't know a person's mind state or a level of how would I say, of them being afraid or frightened, right? Now, do I believe that he should have did what he did? Absolutely not. I don't think that he should have did that, because I think that this is something that happens between young men all the time. They squabble, they push, they do all this. A fight should ensue. But stabbing someone, no. I don't think that your life was that much in jeopardy because there were so many people around that would have had protected you or broke it up or did anything. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that the first resort you should have went to is grab a knife and stab somebody. I just don't think that that's the case. We don't know a person's mental state. We don't know what it is. So I'm not going to speak on that. I'm just saying, I don't think that that should have been your first resort for you to go and do that. You know what I'm saying? But given the case and given the evidence that's in front of me, I think that I'm not going to say he didn't have a choice, but you don't know what people were thinking, and you don't know how aggressive. We don't know how aggressive this person was unless we see a footage of it. That's number one. Number two, if I tell you not to do something and you do it, just know that if I tell you don't touch me and you touch me and something happens to you, what can you really say? I told you not to touch me. And it goes back to what I said in the beginning. Austin had no authority to tell him to move. None at all. So whatever anybody says, that supersedes everything. You had no right to approach him. You're not an adult. I don't care if he's under your tent. And it's not your tent. And guess what? From what I read, the coach told him he could sit there. And on top of that, if it's raining, what do you want him to do? this comes in from the spirit of competition. And this is the reason why I said, to me, this is not a black and white thing. And it's not. Because guess what? When I was in high school, right? When I was in high school, I'm black. And guess what? I sit on the opposite bleachers, fight all the time. So this is not a race thing. It's not. You know what I'm saying? Some people would say, well, maybe because Austin probably felt as though that he had a position where he can do that but we don't know what Austin was thinking. We don't know if Austin was thinking that, oh, get out of here, you N-word. We don't know if he was thinking that. Can't put that on him because we don't know that. Don't know that at all. Not at all. Not at all. We don't know that. Now, both of these guys was captain of the football. I believe he's the captain of the football team and the what's the name? Now, if it's raining and he asking under there, he has a legitimate reason to be under there. It's not like he just went under there. I know a lot of people are saying, well, he brought a knife to school. You don't know why he brought the knife to school. He brought a knife to school to protect himself. He brought a knife to school because they had a prior altercation. He brought a knife to school. Maybe he was saying, oh, he was over there to start trouble. You don't know that. You don't know that because he wasn't the one to approach the boy. So you can't say that he was over to start trouble. You can't say that. You can't say he was there to start trouble if he wasn't the one that approached him. How can you say that? How can y'all say, I see a lot of y'all saying that. A lot of y'all saying, well, he was in the tent to start trouble. How? He was the one that told him not to touch him. Don't touch me. How am I starting trouble with you if I tell you not to touch me? Wouldn't it be the opposite? Wouldn't it be, yeah, you starting trouble because you putting your hands on me? I don't understand y'all logic behind it. That's kind of crazy. I think that's a reach. I think a lot of y'all reaching to try to make this boy guilty. Now, do I believe he's going to be found guilty? I believe he's going to get found not guilty. And there's a bunch of reasons why. And we're going to get into a reason why right now. One of the biggest reasons why he's going to get found not guilty because of this guy, Kyle Rittenhouse. Now, a lot of y'all are hypocrites because a lot of y'all was saying that Kyle Rittenhouse was guilty of self-defense. A lot of y'all was saying that. A lot of y'all was saying, oh man, he did this. Now, I want to play something and show y'all how this is the propaganda on both sides, not just one, because I don't stand on either side. I'm just telling y'all what the facts is and how I feel. But I'm going to show y'all a couple of videos. They short videos, but I'm going to show y'all some videos. But I'm going to show you this one video where this guy is saying, we'll see. Let's just get to the video. Now, I want y'all to pay attention to this because this is very, 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 very tricky. For a lot of us, it's black. You know what I'm saying? Because you have people like this who spread lies. Now, again, I want y'all to understand the truth has to be told. It can't be how you feel because this is what you want to tell people. No, we have to show you what the truth is and what he's saying. So let's go.
Going on. I asked, because these racist bigots try to prevent us from standing up for our baby, our boy, he should be afforded the same rights that Kyle Rittenhouse had, Daniel Penna, and all of the people who have claimed whatever their defense was. He should be afforded the same right. Nobody in the public media has one video camera, but we got the video of Kyle Rittenhouse with an AK-47 shooting 3 people in the back.
Okay. Now, y'all heard what he said. You heard what he said. That is 100% a lie. 100%. This is why I keep telling y'all, stop listening to people who just tell you anything, whether they're black or white. It doesn't matter, because they will tell you whatever they think you want to hear. Kyle Rittenhouse did not shoot 3 people in the back with an AK-47. That did not happen. That is an absolute lie. That's not even like, okay, a little bit of a lie. That's an absolute lie. And again, we're going to talk today because we talked about Carmelo, but we're going to talk about how the hypocrisy of how people saying, a lot of y'all saying that Carmelo should be charged, but yeah, and still Kyle Rittenhouse, he got to have a fair trial. They was both around the same age. They both did things in self-defense. But we're going to keep it going. So I want y'all to see something else. Now, this video here is Joseph Rosenbaum. He was the guy who got first by Kyle. This is what he's saying to Kyle. You know what I'm saying? Now, there's other videos out there where he's threatening Kyle. And this is what happened before all the shooting. You know what I'm saying? I want y'all to listen to what he's saying. Now, again, y'all got to pay attention to what is being said here, because a lot of people, y'all just listen to whatever. But y'all don't go listen, go look, y'all listen to it. But listen to what he is saying to Kyle. And this is a white boy, by the way.
Shoot me, nigga. Shoot me, nigga. Bust on me, nigga, for real.
Okay. Now, y'all seen that, right? Y'all seen that. Shoot me, nigga. Shoot me now. Okay, so this is one of the witnesses. He's a reporter who was right there when Joseph got deleted by Kyle. And I want y'all to hear what he said about what happened. Now, again, this is actual people who were there, not people who wasn't there and speculating. No, he was right there, and he's a neutral witness. He's not, oh, well, choosing a side. No. So we're gonna listen to what he said, and then we're gonna go into how I feel about it. So let's go.
You know, as you sit here today, that he yelled the words "F you," but the whole words, correct?
Yes.
Okay. What was the tone of his voice as he yelled that?
Very angry.
As he goes at Kyle Rittenhouse, correct?
Correct.
Richie McGinnis, a critical witness in the murder trial of Kyle Rittenhouse, said on Thursday that one of the men shot during protest in Kenosha, Wisconsin last year, cursed and lunged for the defendant's military-style rifle before he fired.
Well, I was behind Mr. Rosenbaum and
McGinnis, chief video director of the Daily Caller, who was recording video in Kenosha in August 2020, could help bolster the defense's argument that Rittenhouse, then 17, feared for his life. In court on Thursday, McGinnis reenacted the scene when, he says, Joseph Rosenbaum yelled and advanced toward Rittenhouse.
He's in a low position running, and then when he went for the front portion of the rifle, his he lunged forward like that. Okay. I would say he was more like kind of in an athletic position, like you would if you were, like running as fast as you could.
McGinnis has been seen as a crucial witness for the defense and the prosecution, which is trying to show that Rittenhouse used his weapon without justification. Rittenhouse, who is pointing his rifle at a 45-degree angle toward the ground, moved his weapon to the left, McGinnis said, in an effort to avoid Rosenbaum's grasp before firing.
He never said, "I want your gun."
Kenosha County Assistant District Attorney Thomas Binger then asked if that meant Rosenbaum was no longer a threat. McGinnis replied,
They were extremely close, and so it's not clear to me what would have happened if those shots hadn't have been fired.
Earlier on Thursday, the judge dismissed a juror because he told a joke about the shooting of Jacob Blake, a black man whose wounding by a policeman sparked protests in Kenosha last year. Rittenhouse has pleaded not guilty to multiple charges.
Okay, so I'm going to go through what happened with these guys, and then I'm going to give my final take on why I believe that this is the same situation. Kyle is actually a little bit worse, but then again, it's still the same. Okay, so this guy here, Anthony, he was the one that hit Kyle with a skateboard, and it was because Joseph got deleted. So when Kyle was on the ground, he was getting attacked by a skateboard. You know what I'm saying? And he got shot in the chest, the midsection area. He got deleted. He passed away. He got killed because he lunged after Kyle. Now and again, these guys was chasing him. They were chasing him. And regardless of why he was there with the guns or not, it's the same situation of why Anthony was Carmelo was there with the knife. It's the same situation. You saying that, Carmelo shouldn't have had a knife, Kyle shouldn't have had a gun. But guess what? This is what happened, right? So this guy here, Joseph Rosenbaum, he was chasing Kyle. And I showed y'all the video with him talking to Kyle, shoot me, nigga, saying all these things, and Kyle wasn't trying to do that, right? When he came after him, lunged after him, he got deleted, right? Got shot. Anthony came, hit him with a skateboard, which is assault, right? Correct, right? It's the same thing as when what's the name he pushed him, right? And he said, "Don't touch me," right? It's the same situation. When Carmelo Anthony told him don't touch me, and the young man pushed him, and he said, if you put your hands on me, I'm gonna do something. And then that's what happened, right? It's the same situation. He got hit with he hit him with a skateboard in his head, right? He got deleted. This guy here is literally on camera. I cannot play that video. He literally put a gun to Kyle's head. Literally put a gun to his head. It wasn't like, he didn't what's the name. He literally put a gun to Kyle's head, and he got shot in the forearm, right? Which means he didn't try to kill him. He got shot in the forearm, right? Okay. He's in the trial, on the trial, saying that he would do it again if he could. And he's on trial, in the trial, saying that, yes, he did put a gun to his head. He literally put a gun to Kyle's head. He was going to end him. So these three guys tried to end Kyle's life. Now, this one here is saying he got hit with a skateboard. Obviously, you hitting somebody with a skateboard. I ain't saying you're trying to end their life, but still, this is what happened when you engage, right? Now, this guy here got killed. This guy here got killed. He got shot in the arm. Every one of these guys here assaulted Kyle Rittenhouse. Every one of them. It wasn't like, no, they all tried to assault him, or they tried to use deadly force or attack him. Either way, they all did something to him. He had a right to defend himself, correct? It's the same thing with Carmelo Anthony. You can't say that it's no different, because Carmelo Anthony had a right to defend himself, whether he had a knife there or not. It doesn't matter. If he wasn't supposed to have a knife in school, it don't matter. It don't matter. He defended himself, and that's what happened. That's what happened. Now, you guys can actually go and watch all of these videos on YouTube or online. I'm not going to play some of these videos because some of the videos, they will block you. They will do all this. But I try to find just the clips of neutral videos, not where they come from, just the video. But still in all, it's the same situation. Kyle Rittenhouse defended himself, and Carmelo Anthony defended himself. Whether Kyle raised money and he used the money for something, it doesn't matter. All that don't matter. We're talking about somebody defending themselves. It's self-defense. This is the reason why I believe he's going to get off. People could say whatever. If he don't get off, I think that it's a travesty. And I think that they're wrong for that. I think it's wrong for them to say that it wasn't self-defense after this boy told him, whether he brought the knife to school or not, it doesn't matter. Okay, you brought a knife to school. Okay. What if he brought something else to school? Like, I don't know. What if he brought a hammer to school, right? And he hit him with a hammer and he killed him. or deleted him with a hammer? Would you have said he shouldn't have brought a hammer to school? You know what I'm saying? The thing is, it don't matter. It doesn't matter what he brought to school. What matters is he told you not to put your hands on him, and you had no authority to make him move. Not at all. Not at all. You cannot tell somebody to move from anywhere. You're not in an authoritative position. You're not. You don't own anything. He could have been there. You can't tell that man to move. No. You started it. And you know, I feel, and I'm not sitting here saying, I'm just giving y'all the facts. I'm not sitting here saying as if I don't care that the boy died, because I think it's very sad that all of this happened. I'm just giving y'all the facts of what it is, how I feel. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with Kyle. A lot of y'all's out here, oh, Kyle Rittenhouse, he's guilty. He killed 3 people. You seen it right there. Right there, I showed you. He said he shot 3 people in the back. How do you let this man talk at whatever? He literally said he shot 3 people in the back with an AK-47. What did he say? Did he say AK-47? I don't know if he said. I can't remember. I think he did. I think he did say AK-47. Hold up. He said an AK-47. That make it even worse. Let me see. Hold up. Oh, man. Yeah, it definitely wasn't an AK-47. I was thinking about that. Wait, AK-47s are like, I think those are Russian guns. Those are highly illegal in America. I don't think he had that. I think it says he had a Smith & Wesson. Let me see. He said he had a Smith & Wesson AR-15, MP AR-15 modified. But it wasn't, I mean, it really doesn't matter, but it wasn't an AK-47. It wasn't that. And he literally said that he shot 3 men in the back with an AK-47, and that did not happen. So I know people say, well, he misspoke. It don't matter. You gotta, when you speaking like that at a highly level situation like this, there's no room to misspeak. Not at all. I don't care who you is. I don't care if you're the president. You cannot be misspeaking at stuff like this, because you are literally putting out false information that can get people harmed. You're saying that Kyle Rittenhouse had an AK-47 and shot 3 people in the back. I seen somebody literally say Kyle Rittenhouse killed 3 black people. Yo, they was literally going around saying that he killed 3 black people. He didn't kill nobody black. That's what they were saying. He killed 3 black people. So again, this is the propaganda that us as black people have to be aware of. I don't care if it's something small. I don't care if it's something big. I don't care if you don't even care about it, but you should, because he's saying that to you and you didn't know about Kyle Rittenhouse. The first thing you're going to do is do what? You're going to go and tell somebody else, yo, man, they let that boy Kyle Rittenhouse get away with it. He shot 3 people in the back with an AK-47. He killed three people, bro. And they gonna say something about Camelo? That's crazy. This is the type of language they want you to spew, because they don't care about the lie. They just care about the spreading of it. They don't care about it. It's the same thing with Camelo. A lot of white people out here saying that they defending saying, oh, he shouldn't have had a knife at school and all this. Nobody's talking about that Austin should have not had approached him, because that's not his position to do that. He can't be out here telling somebody what to do. Nobody's out here saying that. Where's the people outraged on that? Why didn't nobody's out here telling you that Austin should have said, look, I can't tell you to move. I can't tell him to move. Nobody's saying nothing about that. Everybody's just jumping on Camelo. He need to be found guilty of murder. Really? After I told you not to touch me, and then I get into a police car and I say to police, would you consider that self-defense? Because he put his hands on me first. And I defended myself. Right? You can say, oh, we provoked him. He was under the tent. No, you can't say that. You can't say he provoked him because he was under the tent. That's none of his business. And on top of that, so what he was under the tent? We're talking about a football. We ain't talking about We ain't talking about army versus the Iraq or a military assault war. We're talking about football teams. They play. I don't care if he's the opposition team. Does that really matter? He's the opposition team. So what? You telling me because I'm the opposition team and it's raining that I can't sit here? What are we talking about? He should absolutely be able to sit there, and it shouldn't have been no violence. It should have been nothing. It should have been, what's up, bro? Your team is good. That's what it should have been. It should have been all love. How is it that you telling me that it's that a fight had to ensue because he was on the opposite team sitting in a tent, and you telling me he was looking for trouble? How was he looking for trouble? If it was raining and he's sitting in a tent, does he have a history of trouble? Like, come on, man. This is crazy. So don't sit there. Listen, man. Don't give me all these stories about you telling me that this guy is guilty and then you tell me Kyle is innocent. Nah, it's the same situation. Same thing. So thank y'all for joining me. I appreciate y'all. I had to just get that off, you know what I'm saying? But I'll see y'all on the next one, man. Peace. Bye.